How have you read what the international cues really are throwing up? And the base metal prices in the meanwhile, we have been discussing on how most of the base metals are cheap, are at accumulating levels. But with the kind of data and events that we are dealing with, there is some more pressure that the markets are seeing.
Well, I think so, Manisha. And it's very interesting. I noticed that President Xi went over and saw a rare earth plant in China. And naturally, you know, when you're thinking about what the capacity of rare earths from now to the future and what that impacts as far as all forms of battery technologies, weapons and so on, I think that's a true indication there could be some movement there as well. So there are so many moving parts to this whole equation. And yes, it's been very interesting that US dollar strength now through 98, the US dollar index, and as far as the base metals, they're still ratcheting up with iron ore ever approaching that $100 level.
Well, yes, it's only the iron ore prices which are up 9% for the month of May, rather 7% for the month of May, 40% up in this year until time. Everything else really seems to be trading in the negative for the month of May. How are you reading this divergent moves that the base metal sector seems to be making?
Well, when you're looking at it, yes, it's been very flat in a lot of ways. You know, there hasn't been a lot of move across the base. Those base metals, and it's been fairly, you know, range-bound. There's been nothing there to really look at big breakouts compared to the oil price or, of course, what's going on with the crude price over the last matter of months. So while we've seen explosive moves to the upside, the base metals markets have been fairly range-bound, and they haven't really offered traders wonderful, you know, big opportunities or big swings that they've been so accustomed to over the previous, you know, matter of years. And, you know, you've only got to look at the copper price, and it's, you know, it's off its it's off its 52-week lows, but well off its, you know, highs that we achieved, you know, nearly $3.40, and now it's, you know, $2.74, $2.75 for a pound of, you know, in US dollar terms, US copper.
So what would you say? Because, you know, the first quarter was good for the metals in this calendar year. The second quarter doesn't seem to be going anywhere. As you said, very range-bound moves is what we are seeing here. How do you see this quarter closing? And if the US and China trade talks do go through, if the global scenario does see an improvement, whether it's a China stimulus measures or we see better data, better demand for metals, where would you see a buying opportunity then emerge?
Well, I don't know whether you are going to see an actual outcome from the trade wars anytime soon. There seems to be so many conflicting stories, and, you know, and you hear the likes of Steve Bannon, and you understand what the strategy is from China and from the US. I'm not sure how a piecemeal deal will be put together in the short term. There've been numerous interactions, naturally, Lighthizer and Mnuchin go to Beijing, then the trade delegate go from Beijing over to Washington, and then back and forth. You know, I think most traders would have been expecting to see something happen by February or March, and here we are in mid-May, and we're no closer to anything really being done other than ratcheting up of tariffs. So the mood out there is one of nervousness, and it really is demonstrated in base metals that, you know, it's just all those gains that you saw from January onwards are going to be given back. And there's, you know, not a lot of, you know, sweet spot or good times to be had for many of those markets.